This is a great way to show the progression of how detailing goes from simple to more elegant to ornate and classical. Starting from this point here, you can see that all these elements here have simple lines to it, used with minimalistic design. You could use this with a shaker door, with a very simple traditional door, and you can see that it has some definition on it. This recessed area here, this beautiful curve to finish it off, a double layer on the top of the corbel. Number of different corbels for different applications, for islands, for support on an island, that also could be used at the end of an island for small countertop support, maybe a width cabinet that's about 24 inches in width. And then the simple bracket for people that aren't looking for too much definition, but a beautiful sweep on it, a concave and convex application on it, with a nice thick substantial piece, but not a lot of carving on it. And you can see a simple pilaster here with a button on here, and you can see on how we're tying this element into this detailing on the crown molding. So this is a two-piece molding with the flat area and a nosing here, but all of this creates a beautiful finish on the top of a cabinet or the top of a ceiling in conjunction with the side panel or raised panel door. All these other elements are to support it. They could all be used with these elements here. You can see the simple detailing here. You can see the coin application here, the wave, the dental. And then different applications for tall appliances like refrigerators or pantries or wall ovens. You can use any of these elements. You could use them in half circles, flats, something a little bit thinner, something a little bit thicker, and obviously just the dots by themselves to accentuate the top of a pilaster. On this next one, the theme on this is obviously something that's organic, that is something from Provence or Tuscany. So you can see the element here using the fruits and vegetables here, carrying that element into a freeze board here, using the egg and dart here. These elements would all be used together. Again, the corbels here are typical of what you see in that region. This is a Sicilian collection, and in Sicily these elements are everywhere in their architecture, and we carried it and made it available for kitchen application. This is a great application of finial. A lot of people never think about using it this way. You can use it as a block and use an upside down finial and do 3 flutes coming down the center of this to give it some definition, or you could just leave it flat and keep it simple. If I fluted it, I probably would do something triangularly, doing 1 flute higher, the other 2 lower on either side, creating a triangle type of effect and reproducing that on the bottom too. You can see that again the egg and dart is used here, the freeze board, and this is a great application using on the front of a hearth or on the front of a fireplace mantle, using these applications the same way as center lines, using rosettes on the top of a pilaster or in the middle of a hearth. And then this one over here is a very classical element. The acanthus leaves are used in all types of architecture. And again, people are looking for elegance and yet some simplicity. If something like this is too busy for them, they want something classical, they would go to an acanthus leaf. The acanthus here, those corbels are used for different applications. A large island, a fireplace, a bar. The other 3 can be used for simpler applications, using it for smaller pieces like the side of an island with an open shelf. And these tiny ones here can be used for different applications. You could use them on the top of bookcases and bump it out with the crown molding, giving it some accentuation. And look at the way that this capital and this fluting and this freeze board is used. You can have a very tall ceiling, and instead of just using 1 molding and a piece of base, you can use 3 different pieces of molding to create height, a lot of volume, a lot of substance, so it doesn't look like it's lost in a kitchen that's 30 by 20. You need something this big because a small molding wouldn't be enough to carry the weight of that cabinet. And then you can see here the acanthus here. You know, if people have a passion for grapes or wine, wine constitutes celebration of life, and again, it's a great element to do in a bar or in a kitchen. And again, smaller applications that can be used for light valances or trim around pilasters. And then again, this large corbel, very effective. A lot of times I use this on an island that's 42 inches in height. It makes a huge statement with it. If you cut the bottom of it off over here and apply a piece of molding, you could also make it look like it's a support structure and it's actually grounded. A very simple corbel here, again, showing simplicity. If you're looking for something that's traditional but not too carved and too ornate, this is a perfect application for it.